Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Eric Gross with eXp Realty and the Eric Gross Group, serving both Cincinnati, Ohio and Tampa, Florida. And I have an awesome interview today with Emmanuel Luswada. This one is super personal. Manny, I will call him Manny because that's what he goes by to me. Emmanuel was on our team and he just actually went to solo agent. So I'm super excited to do this conversation to talk about what it was like to go from an agent that's on a team and then feeling comfortable enough to jump off as a solo agent and what went into that decision. But welcome,
Thank you.
Emmanuel, Manny, and if you want to do your
I know
introduction
that's
real
hard for
quick.
you, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
my name's Emmanuel. I've been in real estate. It'll be 5 years this October. I started with Caldwell. Now I'm with EXP now. I joined Eric's team. I believe it was 3 years back when I joined. I
yeah,
think
3 years. Yep.
so. Yeah, it was great. A great experience being on his team. I've known Eric. He played football with my brother growing up, so it was nice kind of having that connection. But
Yeah.
yeah, just a little bit about me though.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So when me and Emmanuel first met, he had reached out. I was still at Keller Williams. He had gone to Coldwell. And
Yeah.
we kind of just went to a coffee shop, Panera. So same as Gordon and Tidra. That is my go-to. And we kind of discussed business and everything like that. I always knew you were going to be super successful. You had reached out. You did a lot of the stuff that I had done when I first got into business, which just showed me that you were committed to this. You wanted to be the best you could be. And then we kept in touch. So I know when we first came to EXP and we thought about building a team, you were one of the first connections I wanted to reach out to because I was like, if I can get this guy just the support he needs, like he's going to crush it. So, and that's why I'm super excited to do this today because there's a lot of agents on teams or they're thinking about teams. So I think you're going to have a completely different perspective compared to the other agents we've talked to, what that's looked like. And now to be able to track your solo career, I'm super excited to see all the success you're going to have. So we'll get you started, or what got you started into real estate. I kind of know a little bit of this, but what got you to get licensed as a real estate agent?
So I was in high school when I kind of really knew what I wanted to do. Like I was, I think, junior year. So like I knew I didn't really want to go to college,
Okay.
but people kind of always push college on you for the most part. So I knew right away I wanted to be a real estate agent. I kind of like went through all the different career paths on what might work best for me, and I felt like it fit me the best. And I felt like you have to be really disciplined to be a real estate agent, just because nobody's kind of telling you what to do.
Yeah.
So right away, right out of high school, I just became an intern when I was at my old brokerage and just learned the business for a year. And then after that, I became an agent and then worked with Colwell for those few years. And I came over to your team, and yeah.
So I know me and Gordon had talked about this. Like, was there a TV show that got you? Because I know that that is like a somewhat driving factor. What was the TV show, and
Yeah.
how did that kind of frame out?
It was Million Dollar Listing Los Angeles. So the main reason I guess I also missed that apart. Like I got into real estate to do real estate in the California area, but now that I've been with EXP, it's kind of opened my mind to where, oh, I don't have to be in just California. I can be in California, New York, Florida, Cincinnati, Texas, wherever I really want to be, because
Yeah.
that's the way our business model is. But yeah, it was Million Dollar Listing Los Angeles. Josh Altman and his brother Matt Altman really got me into it. I read his books, so I started reading other real estate agents' books, and I just started to like really dive deep into it. And yeah, yeah.
Okay. And how soon was that, or like how much before that was you actually getting licensed? Was that like about the same time you thought
I
about it?
was I was what, 16, 17 when I knew I
Okay.
wanted to be a realtor, and then I just like really dove into it. I started like studying. I wasn't like studying for classes, but like studying how you negotiate, how you do certain things, and then yeah, once I graduated, I think it had to be 18 to be able to become licensed as an agent. So then once
Yeah.
I was able to, I took the chance. I think I used my stimulus money because it was COVID. I had just graduated, so I used my $1,400 to go to real estate school.
Awesome. And then one of the things I want to talk about too, like age wise,
Mhm.
you got licensed at 19, correct?
Correct. Yes. Correct.
Cool. Yeah. So I got licensed at 21. So you beat me by 2 years. I think for a lot of people, and I talked about this previously, like becoming an agent at a young age is a lot more difficult than people think it is. You don't have the life experience, you don't have a massive network, you're rarely tied in. There's confidence issues and stuff. And we'll talk about that because as we talk about you coming on to our team, those were things we discussed quite a bit. But I love seeing young agents in the business succeed because there's the average age of a real estate agent in the United States is like 56 or 57 years old. So there's not a young
I
population of
didn't know that.
agents. Yeah, there's not a young population of agents that are serving a community or that are helping people. And you got to think there's we're the largest generation, like Gen Z and millennial ends up being the largest generation compared to boomers and all of that. So there's going to have to be somebody that serves it. And for a lot of our clients and the age and stuff like that, being that young, you know you're going to be using the same agent multiple times. So I think that's a really good thing. So
Yeah.
you said you got an internship at Coldwell. How did that kind of work itself out? How did you
Yeah.
get into the internship? And then what did you learn?
Word of mouth. So it was through actually an old church friend, like an old church pastor. I'm still close with. I'm going to lunch with him actually next week. Actually, it's funny, but
Nice.
he kind of, I think it was his old real estate agent. He just connected me with him. I just
Okay.
called, and then it was like I would go into Caldwell's, like I just treat like a 9 to 5 almost, just whatever he needed. I was essentially the assistant to the assistant, but I learned a lot just being in the office, hearing the calls, like seeing how people are, how people go to work, how they go about things. Just being his assistant's assistant really helped. Just like, I was doing mailers. I didn't make calls, but just like all the background work stuff,
Yeah.
that's what I did. As far as just like he would take me on different tours with him and different listing appointments to really show me everything that's going on. I had a great coach there as well too. She was amazing. Just kind of showed me the way as what needs to be done. Um, I loved Caldwell. Nothing bad to say about Caldwell. I think the main thing I just needed a different. I feel like EXP they have a different business model that
Yeah.
was really helpful for me. Just especially just being around also younger people. You are right now. I think back. Yeah, I was the youngest, like really young in my meetings. I think I was like 19, and like the next closest age was 33.
Yeah.
So I definitely hear you. So when it was like I'd reach out to you when you were at Keller, I was texting you on DMs. I asked my brother, "You think I can reach out to Eric? He'll be okay with it?" Yes, Eric, he'll be cool with it. So having you to be able to reach out to and do our random Panera meetups and stuff was really
Yeah.
helpful. And then it was a no brainer to come over at that point once I knew you were coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And I started at Coldwell as well. And I had a similar experience. Like I really liked Coldwell. There was nothing bad to say about the
Yeah,
brokerage, but I just felt like I didn't fit in. Like I would go into the
definitely.
office,
Same.
every agent was like 50s or 60s. I didn't
Hmm.
have anybody to talk to.
Hmm.
So for me, that was something kind of big that I was looking for. But again, that's actually just the way real estate is. Like the average age of a real estate agent being so high, like there's not a ton of young agents, but we're seeing a large wave of that, which I think is really cool. I think it's going to be something we continue to see as
Yeah.
people just leave the business, they retire. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for younger agents that want to get out there and get it. A lot of those agents that are in their 50s or 60s, good amount of them got licensed in their 20s and in their
Yeah.
30s. So now it's like a fresh new wave of agents. So cool. So that internship, like you feel like really helped, get you
I
ready for
would
the
say
business
so.
then?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely would say so. I mean, I feel like there's in every situation, even with myself, it can always be better. But I would say for the most
Yeah.
part, just like basic stuff. Yeah, I feel like I didn't really see, truthfully, massive growth until I joined your team. I think when I was with Caldwell, I was doing like 4 deals. I was on his team, and then I left the team I was on. I stayed with Caldwell for a little bit, and then I was a solo agent. I just was lost. I didn't really know what to do. She was great, and she like the coach. She did everything she could for me. But then once she left, I was like really ready to go, and I really was lost at that point because it was like I knew you have to work. I know how to work hard. I know how to be disciplined, but I had no idea what to do. I'm like 20 years old. Like, okay, Caldwell was cool. They had like these yellow books you can call, and like I'm just calling them. Like I was real deal cold calling. Like it was just the coldest of cold calls. I had no leads, no nothing, and like all my deals were just like friends and family. But friends and family don't even really still trust you because you're still brand new. And to be fair, looking back, yeah, if you don't know the contract fully, you don't know certain things fully, it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
trust somebody with that big of a transaction. So I didn't really see actual growth because I know when I came to XP, I started to really see deals get done. I started to really see my confidence grow and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, it was like I said, Cole was great, but I feel like I took a big step once I came over to XP Realty for sure.
Yeah, one of the tips I actually got asking agents at Coldwell, like I was like, "How are you guys getting business?" And I had an agent that like literally looked at me and was like, "Just pick up a phone book and call." And I was like,
Yeah,
"One, like those are businesses, so I don't know what I'm gonna do." But she told me to
yeah,
get a Yellows page, and I'm like, "Yellow pages," and she's like, "That's what I did to get started." And I'm like, "Nobody like, there's no home phones. I'm gonna call these people and they're gonna cuss
yeah,
me out."
yeah,
So yeah, it's definitely a huge change, and I think different demographics, like in
definitely.
terms of age and stuff like that, have different ways of getting business and it being successful. So
And that's okay. And that's the thing. I just realized it just wasn't a fit. And like I remember like I wanted to be full time in real estate. I wasn't full time. I would just go home. I would go do my work, my side job. It was nice because my side job I only needed like a couple hours, it's 1099, self employed as well. So I
yeah,
come home after that, like, okay, I made my money for the day. I had no like nothing on my schedule for real estate. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to reach out to. I had no structure. So I said, okay, well that's my day. So once I came over, and then like we had like you start out small, the things that you gave us, like, okay, I want you guys to text 10 people in your contacts, whether it's
Yeah.
IG, Facebook, whatever it is, and then you built up off of that, and then it started to really build structure in my day on how to go, because now I feel like it set me up to be a solo agent to where I'm overly confident on what to do. It's like it's just a matter of doing the things. That's
Yeah.
really it. So
Yeah, and that's a very common thing with like new agents or younger agents just not knowing what to do. It's probably the most common question I get, or just issue with people's business is like, okay, even if they have confidence, they don't know what to do.
hmm
Um, and I think a lot of people want to make it more difficult than it needs to be, but like you have to just reach out to people. You have to post
yeah,
on social media. You have to build connections. You have to network.
definitely.
There are leads in the business that work. Like I know there are teams that run leads and stuff. We've always been less on the lead side of things and grow it organically. Like that was how I grew my business. That's how I've seen people have success. The leads can dry up. They can be inconsistent. It can just be hit or miss. Where if you're building something through your sphere of influence, through your network, through the people you know, if you're going out meeting new people, like you're going to have success. It's going to take time, but that will lead to success. You're building
Yeah.
up relationships. That's what's going to last forever. You might get a lead, call them, work with them a little bit, and then they remember their cousin's a licensed agent. So I know like that was big for us when you first came on, was like, I told you, go through your contacts, text people, set up lunches, talk to people you went to high school with. Like that is huge for us, and it still is to this day, and it's still how we grow our business now. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because I remember when I first joined, my IG profile picture was black. Like I didn't even
yeah,
post on social media. I didn't. I was the most closeted agent, not like because I had a page and everything. I don't know. I didn't really care. I didn't see the reasoning behind it. Like, okay, how are people gonna take me serious if
yeah,
I'm just posting, I'm running open house or this and that. I remember you even had me. You forced me to do Facebook
Facebook
Live
Live,
videos, and I was like, I'm not doing that. You're
yeah,
tripping. But once I started to do, I still do them. I just did two this past weekend, and
yeah,
people like to see your face behind the camera. I was just talking to a loan officer today, like just social media. Like I was talking about how I was doing a bunch of videos this past winter time was a little bit slower, just doing a lot of videos, and people, I thought nobody liked them, because I wasn't getting that many likes or comments. But then I go see clients or friends or people I never get messages like, hey, why'd you stop posting your videos? So people were watching them, stuff like that. So you are right as far as just the consistency and being on social media, reaching out to people. It's nerve wracking at first, just but once you get over that hump, you just stop caring and just do it.
yeah. I think there's a huge wall that everybody has to get over, and I know I had to like literally beg you to do a Facebook Live video. Like I was like, if you
You
don't
wouldn't
do it,
let me
like
leave the open house.
yeah, I was like, we're gonna have problems. But I did the same thing, and I remember the first time I did a Facebook Live video, like my heart was beating out of my chest, and I was like freaking out. And I was like,
Stuttering.
yeah, I was like, I'm gonna say something stupid, or somebody's
Yeah.
gonna laugh at me. And I did it, and then I didn't. You're rarely gonna get business immediately off something
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
business. Like
That's
there's, the chances of somebody just reaching off of Facebook Live and being like, actually, I'm gonna buy a home tomorrow. Can you help? Is
very rare.
slim to none.
Yeah.
But I had people that reached out 6 months, a year later, and stuff
Yeah.
like that were like, "Hey, I saw your video, like, or I watch your social media. I need help. My
Mhm.
wife and we don't know where to get started." And then that's where you set up a buyer consult, take it from there. So,
No, I mean, 100. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're good.
I was just gonna say 100%. Like I'm still trying to get like be better as far as social media. I feel like I'm pretty good at it, but you can always be better. But like you're
Yeah,
right. I mean, even when agents ask you to market their listings, like I jump on those opportunities, or when they ask you to run open houses, because I mean, I just had my neighbors say, "Hey, I really like the house you posted the other day." It wasn't even my house. It wasn't even my listing. It's just me marketing someone at EXP, helping them out, and like if I get a buyer and bring them a buyer, okay, cool, and that's how you continue to build up your business. Then if you have your own listing, you can have other agents with EXP or whoever your broker is with market it for you as well too, and everybody can help build each other's business up.
yeah, 1,000%. So, you were licensed at Coldwell after the internship. You said you were doing a couple deals. When
hmm
you decided to jump to our team, what like kind of went into it? I mean, obviously we knew each other and then
hmm
had conversations, but what were you looking for with joining our
Yeah.
team, and then what also led to that decision?
Yeah, I mean, knowing you made it, of course, really easy, like you said. But I think just seeing the scale that you were doing, I remember just watching you. I remember I talked to my brother all the time because we stayed together. We just me and him living in my mom's house. She was a travel nurse, so like I just talked to him all the time about you. And like, hey, I saw you're a real estate agent now. I want to become one. And like I remember I saw your IG. It started out with like just 4 deals, nothing too crazy. And next year's like 8 to 10 deals. I'm like, okay. And then like that third or fourth year, it just blew up. So I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, okay, he's doing something really good over there, and he knows the answers to the test that I need. So I think just seeing the business that you were doing and like the confidence you had, the Facebook lives you were doing, it was like, okay, I want to do that. I want to be like that and be like the expert. Like I remember we would do open houses. I'd be so confused on how you can talk so smoothly about the market. I'm like, people ask, so how's the market? I'm like, I don't know. Talk to my
Yeah.
mentor. But now it's like, just even being around you these past 2 or 3 years, and like the tweets that you send to the group chat or to me, or like about the market, or like showing
Yeah.
me the way, like which blogs to reach or which different things to read and stuff, have been super helpful. But as far as making the decision to join the team, it was kind of a no-brainer to me because you were already successful. You and Katie, you're just like the dream team is what I call you guys. You know what you guys are doing. Like me leaving the team has been so seamless. It feels like I'm still a part of the team, but I'm not part of the team, if that makes sense, just because you
Yeah.
guys, like, I mean, you let me, I have all my campaigns for my CRM still. I have everything I need. We have a Google Drive. So it's been really, I feel like it's super easy to come onto the team, learn what you need to learn, get that mentorship, build that confidence up because, yes, sales plays a part, but there's been times in this business my mindset was horrible. I have 6 7
Yeah.
months fall
Yeah.
out. I'm like, I'm done. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I don't even play the video game. I just want to stay in bed. And
Yeah.
like you would, help me out, push me with my mindset. And we do it for each other, like just being motivating. So I think just it was just a lot of things that went into play. Just I feel like just mentally, business wise, spiritually, you guys just had everything that I was looking for, and you guys being young also really helped as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and to that point, like one, I didn't have all the answers. I still to this day
It
don't
felt
have all
like it
the
did
answers.
though.
Yeah,
It
I
felt
know.
like it.
Well, and that's what everybody says, but I'm like, we're all, even the last interview I did with Daniel, like we talked about it. It's like agents won't talk about their issues ever.
Yeah.
Like everybody's just like, oh,
That's
everything's
true.
going great. But yeah, we started this team and we built the team with the idea in mind. Like even when you first jumped on, I told you, Rico and Alex, like
Mhm.
if you guys are here in 3 or 4 years, I failed as a team lead because that was never my goal. It was
Yeah.
never the intentions. Like when we set the team up, my idea was almost to have it be like a factory of like, we bring you guys in, we give you the tools, like you have success, you go out on your own, and then
Yeah.
you become successful. It was never to have something where it was stagnant. We didn't want somebody that was on a team, for 20 years. And I know that there's teams that do that and it's super successful, and everybody's got a different outlook for it.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of thought of it as, hey, this is like a leapfrog. Like this is a place for you to come, learn, treat it like a business, ask
Yep.
us questions, build the confidence, go off on your own. And that's what we're still doing with it. Like
Yep.
we want to make sure that everybody that's currently on the team has the same feelings you have. They feel confident and comfortable enough to jump off, because that means as a team lead, we're being successful.
Of course.
Whereas if you feel like you have to stay on the team forever, you always need us, to me, that means we're failing you.
Right.
So that was always really big for us. That was always a really big thing that me and Katie had talked about, starting with the end in mind with the team. So cool. So you made the jump to the team, and I know the first like year you were working a part-time job. That tends to be really common. And I know that I told you to quit the part-time job pretty much every meeting. So do you want to kind of talk about that a little bit? Because there was a time where you were like, okay, I feel comfortable enough to jump off. But what was that like, and when did that point happen?
Yeah, I mean the good thing about what I was doing, it was so like I can do it, go out there for 2 3 hours and work. So, but I still understand. At first, I didn't understand you because like that's just 3 4 hours out of my day. Like I have the rest of my day to do work. But then like as I got busier, as stuff started to happen, like I started to understand why you're pushing it so hard, because you can't really give it your all unless you're full time into the business. Because if the nice part about it is I had the time for it, but even then, it's just too tough because you have clients calling you, or you have things you have to do in the morning time, and if okay, you don't work for the morning time now, the afternoon and evening time, you're super stressed out. You're trying to pile things on top of each other. I mean, with real estate, like yeah, you might have a certain way how you think your day might go, but then noon hits and then everything just hits the fan.
Yeah.
So, as far as making that jump, it was a little nerve wracking for sure, to not have another safety net, but it kind of pushes you to go harder for sure, I would say. But eventually, I mean, if you really are serious about, being an entrepreneur or a business owner or a real estate, whatever it is you're doing, like you have to take that full-time leap and become full-time in whatever you're doing. So I knew it had to come. And just as far as, I feel like you kind of just gave me the power to do it. Just, hey, you can do it. You can do what you need to do. So.
And I say this in a not like bad way, but I knew you were doing it responsibly, because at the time
Yeah.
you didn't have a lot of bills or anything like
Exactly.
that. So that for
Exactly.
me, like I felt comfortable pushing it.
Makes
Whereas
sense.
like, yeah, like if you had like 4 kids and like it's what's supporting the family,
Yeah.
like I would never recommend like,
Exactly.
yes, but I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, especially if you're young, I'm like as soon as you land on the beach, burn the
Mhm.
boats. Like if you have the opportunity to do this full time, it's one of the things I kind of regret looking back at the start of my business and my journey that I didn't have the opportunity to do. I had a job working at a pharmaceutical company in a warehouse, and I literally didn't leave that job until I got fired for being on my phone. I quit. I've never been fired. I was on my phone with a client. The manager came up and he's like, "Hey, we've already told you this a few times. We got to
Yeah.
let you go."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I've never been fired. Can I quit?" And he's like, "You're an idiot. If you quit, you're not going to get your benefits." And I was like, "I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get fired. That
Principle.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like just pride. Like I will
Yeah.
quit. I don't need the unemployment. Like just let me be."
Yeah.
So, um,
No, I feel
I,
that. I'm sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say I wish I would have done it sooner because like
Yeah.
it. I still think to this day, if I wouldn't have taken that phone call, I would
Mm-hmm.
probably still be there. I
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. It was just one of those things where like I was super scared to take the jump, and I could
Yeah.
see you were in a similar position. It's like you just kind
Yeah.
of have to.
Because I mean, before I joined your team at EXP, I was with when I was with Colwell, I worked at T-Mobile. So like,
Yeah,
and it was a great job. It paid really good, to be honest with you. But like, I'd be in there, there'd be a customer out front, and I'm in the back trying to talk to clients. So like, there was a time to where our stores were getting renovated, so I didn't have my actual manager. So the manager was pretty cool. As long as there's people there, I was part time. They would always allow me to go do my showings and come back. But there's a manager who wasn't my manager, and he told me, "Hey, you have to choose between T-Mobile and real estate." Well, that was my last day there, and then I went to my other job that I was doing, and it was through a family business through Spectrum. So that was nice to do. I think the reason why it took me so long to leave that because I felt like it was so easy to do it with real estate.
yeah,
I didn't really see it at the time being just because I was so young. Like, okay, making good, quick money right now. But I didn't see the gains in real estate until I started to see those deals start to close and stuff like that. Okay, it
yeah.
makes sense. I need to invest my time into real estate fully.
There's an opportunity cost to it. So like
Definitely.
even if you're only doing like 2 or 3 hours, like 2 or 3 hours, any agent out there that's listening to this, if you work 2 to 3 hours a day, like just sit down, prospect for 2 to 3 hours, you'll be one of the most successful agents in your
100%.
market. I literally promise it.
Yeah.
So, and it's really tough to balance it. And like you said, real estate, we don't have full control of our schedule. So, one minute it's fine, next minute you're running around like a chicken with your head cut
Yeah.
off. So,
Yeah.
I do want to talk about, you had mentioned this a couple minutes ago, and I've had it in the back of my brain. There was a time a couple of years ago where you had like 7 deals under contract. And I think all 7 deals exploded in like fiery fashion.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that? Because
Talk about
agents
that.
don't talk about this
Yeah.
stuff ever. And like I remember being on the phone with you, and you were like, "Bro, I'm like just I'm done." And I was like, "No, like keep going." Like, but do you want to talk about getting those under
No,
contract, what it
definitely.
was like, and all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a roller coaster. Like, it really is. Like, you feel like you're on top of the world. Like, okay, wow, one deal on the contract. Oh, two. Oh, this is a
Yeah,
2 for 1. I got four on the contract. I
yeah,
think one of those deals caught on fire. Like, it was just a whole thing, like, literally on fire. The house caught on fire. I kid you not. Like, so, I mean, yeah, it was 7 total deals. I think it was
yeah,
like ramping up going into the winter time.
yep,
So, I think it started October, November when all the deals started to happen. It just started to flow, just like the buildup of all my work from the summertime because it's a busy summer. That was like my first summer on your team, actually. You know,
yeah,
you're throwing us referrals. We have the lead. I think we tried leads for a little bit as well. I think I had like a few leads that were on the contract, and then just personal stuff. Any
yep,
referrals you may have gave me, and it just started one by one by one by one by one. It was just so crazy. I mean, I had one where it was someone was selling their house, and then they were going to buy a house. That's the one that caught on fire. And then I was helping the house that they were selling. I was helping the buyer on that
yeah,
transaction. I had an investor. I remember this at the back of my hand. I really do. I had somebody who lived in Fairfield Township a listing, and then I think I'm blanking on a few of them. I had Google Click League. Either way, I
yeah,
had 7 deals. It was 7 deals. To give you
yeah,
the gist of it, it was
yeah,
7 deals,
yeah,
and they all fell out just like in the span of 2 weeks, and just things I couldn't control. Nothing I did wrong. Whether it was a buyer who wasn't that serious, a house catching on fire, that affects another deal, and then that's affecting other buyers. Whether it was an investor who changed his mind last minute, it's just certain things that are out of my control. But that was my first time ever going through it. So
yeah,
then I'm like, what? It's like 21 maybe. I might have been
yeah,
21 or 22 at this time. So it was like I almost get PTSD thinking about it sometimes. But like now I'm cool. Like okay, you've been through, you've experienced it. But like the first
yeah,
time going through, you see those commissions. You start to don't count your checks too. I've learned that. But like
yeah,
you start to count the money. You start to think, okay, I can really do this. Like you're building up confidence. Like you're writing up contracts. You're getting them accepted. And this is when it was like easier to get a contract accepted. I feel like as of lately, it's not been that easy.
yeah,
That's a different story for a different day. But yeah, it was tough. It was definitely tough mentally. I felt not confident. I'm like, dang, I just had 7 deals and they just all fell out of contract. But
yeah,
I didn't realize it wasn't my fault. I thought it was my fault because I was the real estate agent attached to it. And you're right, people don't really talk about these stories, but I just thought, oh man, I'm never gonna get 7 deals again. I'm never gonna close a deal again. And this was like
Right.
in the middle of the winter, like
Yeah.
December, January. I'm expecting a big paycheck. I don't get at least one of the seven. All
Yeah.
seven go, and then so yeah, it was definitely not a fun time, but I think it was necessary. It's necessary to go through something like that because I wouldn't have been able to grow. I didn't see it then. I see it now, but I would
Yeah.
not have been able to grow into a better agent for sure.
I think we all have that story. Like anybody that's been in the business or done a decent amount of business, like I've had months that everything just works smoothly.
Yeah.
Appraisals are good, inspections are fine, everything
Yeah.
closes. You look back and you're like, wow, that was amazing. And then I've had months where it's like every deal, like I've had the exact same thing. It falls out. It's out of your control. An inspection goes bad, appraisal goes bad, buyer gets cold feet, somebody passes away, whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Whatever.
And
Yeah.
then you're sitting there and you're like, what in the world just happened?
Did
Like
all
I
that
was
work
literally,
too.
yeah. And then that's the thing. You start thinking about it. And you're like, wow, I put in like.
Mm.
You look back on it and you're like, okay, the whole time I was working the deal, I was spending 3 or 4 hours a day working a deal, and then you're constantly thinking about it. And then you're going to bed at night and you're thinking about it. And you're trying to think the next steps through. So when it all falls out, you're like, what in the world just happened? I just wasted so much time, and then you're immediately dejected, which is
Mm.
really tough. So
Yeah.
looking back now, like I know during that time we were on the phone
Oh
24/7
yeah.
and you were like
100%.
not happy with it, but like you said, it made you the agent you are today.
Mm.
You learned a ton of stuff. You have the confidence now. You know, I'm not knock on wood, you know it's probably going to happen again at
Oh
some
yeah.
time in the business.
100%.
So when it does, you're not going to freak out. Like you were able to kind of weather it. You
Yeah.
didn't give up. A lot of agents would have just been like, you know what, I'm going right back to T-Mobile. That was fun. So
Nah, I'm
the
cool.
fact that you carried the fact that you carried on is huge.
I mean, you're
Um,
right though. I'm sorry, did I cut
no,
you
go
off?
ahead. Go
No, I
ahead.
was gonna say because I mean, and a little bit of a winning story. Like these past couple months, I had like 8 to 9 deals closed, and it was nice to have that. But now it's like, okay, it's July. Like you always tend to tell us, it's
Yeah.
slower for the month of July for real estate agents. Just people are traveling, July 4th,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But like, well, this is my third or fourth July now. I might have
Yeah.
like stressed myself out in the past, but I'm like, you know what? Just do your work, do what you're supposed to do. You have extra time in the day, go hang out, do what you want to do. So
Yeah, there's seasonality to this business, and I
yeah.
remember 20. I got licensed in 2018, so 2018 and 2019, I would talk to my business coach, and he was like, "Hey, every fall, like these are the slow times.
Mhm.
July's really slow.
Yeah.
Christmas time's really slow, and then usually after that, like these are your busy seasons." And then when COVID happened, all seasonality was out the window. Like it was, if you looked at like Cincinnati's numbers, it was busy from the beginning of the year till the end of the year, all the time. Same contract, same pending, same listings.
Yeah.
We're kind of going back to seasonality. So July for us every year, even during the COVID months or COVID years, like July has always been extremely slow.
Yeah.
The first time I went through that, I was like, I'm never going to close another deal. And then even this year, like it's best year by far for us.
Yeah.
And it's like July slow. So
Yeah.
it always, July is like my humble month where I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, like time to
And
get
it
through
feels
this.
so slow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like one of the slowest. Like I feel like it's July, maybe January and February just feels so slow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's not fun. Football's going back.
I
Sports are
know.
coming up. People
Yep.
are excited. Like,
Yeah.
all these things happen. And I think that's what gets everybody's attention, and
Yeah.
travel and kids
Yeah.
going back to school. So it's always a really slow month. I try to tell everyone, but the fact that you've been through that now, you know what
Exactly.
to do, just to continue to do your reach outs, continue to
Exactly.
network and stuff like that is great. So I couldn't do this podcast without talking about mindset with you, because that's what we talked about probably the most. I would say like thousands of hours on mindset. You said something just a couple minutes ago that your mindset for a while wasn't very good. So do you want to talk about that? Because I know, like, I struggle with a mindset thing. You struggle with it. A lot of agents I found struggle with it.
Mhm.
But what was your mindset that wasn't that great? How have you learned? Because I think that's something you're always going to struggle with it. You're always going to go through it. I think it's a part of being an entrepreneur. I still struggle with it to this day. But do you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I think like I used to always equate like the amount of money I had in my bank account as far as if I'm a good real estate agent or not. And
Yeah.
I still kind of sometimes feel like that. I'm trying to work on that. But as far as like just mindset wise, like I used to I didn't know what I didn't know. So like I would get really down on myself, and I've always like kind of been tougher on myself to try and get better results. Like
Yeah.
I try and be like just focused on what I need to do. But as far as mindset, I feel like if you get too jaded or you get too down, like it can affect you as far as when you're talking to clients, when you're making calls, or when you're just doing anything, you're going to networking events. Like people can feel that energy. Like,
Yeah.
and as far as I just felt like when all those deals fell out, or even just other deals when they fell out, and I was just slow. I only had like one deal or two deals, and like, oh dang, that's my one or two deal for the month that fell out. Like, okay, crap. Like I used to feel like, and even if it wasn't my fault, like, dang, like
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get another deal. But even now, when deals fall, like, okay, well, they're still looking. Let's just go look again. Or even if they're not looking, it'll be again a few months later, or ask for a referral, whatever you need to do. But it's just like it's not that deep. It's
Yeah.
really not that deep. The more I realize, like, it's not that deep. It's not the end of the world. There'll be more business. Like, and just having like thinking like a growth mindset, a positive mindset. All the not, I mean, we're humans. Like nobody's always going to be 100% chipper and happy. You know, I mean, it's just it's not possible. If you can, great. But I know I'm not going to be able to be like that all the time. But as far as just, I feel like just waking up every single day, you know what
Yeah.
you need to do, conquering your task, and just at the end of the day, do you feel accomplished? Did you do what you're supposed to do? Like you do your brain dumps. I know you always talk about that's something I
Yeah.
need to for sure. But just I like to go over my day and see what I did to get done. But just I feel like with experience now, it's helped my mindset a lot because without the experience, that's when I had a bad mindset. But now that I've been
Yeah.
through the experience, I know it's a roller coaster. It really is a roller coaster. And then I hear like even entrepreneurs in different businesses talk about like their risk. No, I'm sorry, their risk tolerance, like how they feel with certain things. Like yeah, there's gonna be certain times you're not getting paid that much, but then like you say, you have certain months you make thousands of dollars, and it kind of makes up for those past months. So I think just one for me, just not correlating the money part with, you know, if you're doing a good job or not, because you can be doing what you're supposed to be doing and 6 months nothing happens. And then
Yeah.
boom, you have a month of like 10, 12 deals that close. Okay, it paid off. So that's the thing, like you say, this business works in 6 months intervals. And I didn't really realize that. I didn't know that until as I got deeper into the business. Because unless you're in the market doing the work, you don't really know what you don't know. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that helped my mindset a lot. Just being able to do more deals, go through it, the ups and the downs of it all.
Yeah. I can't recommend enough for everybody that's an entrepreneur, but also just in the real estate business, whether it's an investor, an agent, or whatever. Like, because I've struggled with it, and then I read a ton of mindset books, and I've read The Power of Now, and I've read
You
like
read a
any
lot of
possible,
books.
yeah, any possible like mindset book you can read. And I kind of want to go back through them because
Yeah,
you get these nuggets, you apply it to your life,
definitely.
and then you don't read the book, and then
Yeah,
life happens, and you go right back to it. But
yeah,
that was one of the things I think you had struggled with the most when you
yeah.
when you joined the team. We talked was just like mindset. And again, I was in the same boat. I still to this day like I beat myself up. I'm the same way. Like if I'm not doing a perfect job all the
Mhm.
time, constantly available, or I feel like I'm not like exploding out expectations in terms of
Yeah,
all these sales, then I'm like, okay, like I suck. I'm not doing a good job. You start to beat yourself up. There's something good to it, like in sports and stuff. Like
yeah,
when you're kind of negative and you're like, all right, like my footwork sucks or something
yeah.
like that, you can go work on it and then you can see it get better because it's
Mhm.
immediate. Like if, we both played football.
Yeah,
If you work a drill, like the more you do it
get
within a
better.
couple of day period,
Yeah,
you're like, I'm getting better.
yeah, yeah,
Real
yeah.
estate, it's like 2 years. And then you're like, what the heck is
Yeah,
going on? Why do I still
yeah,
suck?
yeah.
So it's really tough. And I think most agents in this business have, because it's a roller coaster, you have times where you're like on
Mhm.
top of the world, nothing can go wrong, everything is great. And then there is like the complete downs where you're like, I
Yeah,
suck, I'll never sell another
yeah.
transaction, I'm awful. So that's like probably the biggest thing we try to talk about, like
And
just mindset.
I think what's it called? Like I remember Rico, he'd just be even keel. He had clothes. It's like, are you not happy? Like, yeah, of course I'm happy, super happy right now. But like I remember I was just so young. Like when I
Yeah.
was first on the team, like I think back, like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so young. Nobody's my age is even having kids or getting married or buying nothing. We're all trying to survive being adults right now. People are in
Yeah.
college. But Rico, he'd have deals, like shout out to Rico, he'd have deals going on, like whether they fell out or they were going good. Like he just like, yep, happy, got a check, we're good to go. Let's keep moving forward. Not just got a check, but you know how it is. Like it was just he was just even keel. So I think there was
Yeah.
something to it, and I tried to adopt that mindset of just like when things are going really well, just of course be happy, celebrate yourself because there's only so many wins you get. So when you do get those wins, definitely try and I do realize you need to celebrate those W's, but like because there's a lot of L's. I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of L's you get. So when you get those wins, you definitely gotta
Yeah.
cherish those for sure.
Right before we did this podcast, I had a guy I followed up with, good friend, so I'm not super upset. But 3 years I've been following up with him since I moved down here.
Yeah,
And me and him were catching up earlier about business, and he's like, "You're gonna kill me." And I was like, "I know exactly where this is going." He's like, "I just bought a house," and I'm like, "Of course you did.
yeah,
Like, thank you for telling me this." So it happens. Like, you got to be
yeah,
happy for people.
exactly.
One of the things I've learned is like abundance mindset. There's
Yeah.
always more out there. As long as you're adding value, as long as you're helping people, like that's not my one and only client. As long as I
Yeah.
keep showing up
Exactly.
every day and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that, it'll fill itself out. So it's a tough one to learn. Rico's also just built different. So like for people that don't know Rico, like
He is.
I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, he would have like your 7 deal thing. He'd have that going on. I'd be like, "How you doing?" He's like, "I'm doing great." I'm like, "How
Yeah.
are you okay?" Like, I'm
Yeah.
stressed for you right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that's a huge positive. So you built everything up. You came on the team, and I will talk from my point of view.
Yeah.
Like Manny was one of those that like Emmanuel was one of those that like no matter what he'd always get after it. Like every opportunity. Like I know you didn't want to do the Facebook lives, you did them. I know when you reached out to me originally, you didn't want to do it, you did it. I know you didn't want to make calls, you did it. I know you didn't want to do open houses, you did it. You're somebody that like that when you want to do something, you're gonna do it. It's gonna have success. Like you just have to go out there. So you from a team lead standpoint, I always knew you'd be successful because it's like we didn't have to harp on you or say like, hey, you need to get up, hey, you need to do these tasks. It was more of just kind of trying to get you to be confident, work on the mindset, and then be able to go on it. So I think that's something like as a team lead, it's kind of given me a top down view because I didn't get to see it with myself. Like you don't really know. And then seeing it from my standpoint now, seeing where you've had success, seeing you just do things like without us having to ask is why you've been successful. But now I kind of want to talk about like what was that transition? You're just going through it kind of.
Yeah.
It's recent.
Yeah.
What's that transition to solo? What are your emotions going into it? Where are you at?
I think it was 2 Fridays ago when I did it after
Yeah.
a closing we had. I'm not gonna lie, I was super nervous telling him. I'm like, oh, is he gonna be mad at me? Like, what's going on? Like, this is Eric. Like, Eric's known me since I was a little kid. Why would he be mad? It's like I'm still
Yeah.
with XP too, but like, I was definitely nervous to say something about it just because I don't know. I feel like it's a big thing. It's like bittersweet. Like, dang, like you leaving the team, but I'm still in the team meeting. I'm still here. Everything's
Yeah.
hasn't really changed much, but as far as the mindset going into it, I just felt confident. Like I don't remember last time, like me and you talk. When we talk now, it's not like and we're talking about business stuff. It's more of like we're just talking about what we got going on. And I used to
Yeah.
call you like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I still have certain questions I call you for, which is really nice. I was just talking to Spencer Dean the other day. He said he still reached out to you for certain questions too. And
All the
yeah,
time.
like we can we can always reach out to Eric. So I'm just like, okay, I still have him to reach out to. I know Katie's like a wizard with AI and anything background wise. Like I know you had the we have our Google Drive or whatever. I have
Yep.
that for everything I need. Just like the link tree she makes, like just our whole team and tribe that we have, it's been super seamless because
Yeah.
one, you've already instilled the confidence, the mentality, the mindset. I now have 2 agents under me. A third one's about to join. Like one of them, we do weekly meetings, and he's a brand new agent. I'm just trying to help him out. I'm kind of taking a little bit from what your meetings are like, and made it my own, and made it my own spin. I'm not a team leader or anything like that. Just not yet, but eventually with time I will. But it's been nice to just. I haven't been a solo agent since I was with Kowa. When I was with Kowa, I didn't know what to do, but this time I know what to do. Like I'm setting up meetings with lenders. I'm going on lunches, going on golf things with guys and hanging out, going to different networking events and just doing what I'm supposed to do. It's nice to like, I know what to do. So that's the main thing about it. And like when I left, I was so nervous. Like I'm still a little nervous. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely still a little nervous, but when I left, I was like, oh, like, am I going to have all my KV core stuff? Am I going to have all my extra stuff? But like, yeah, like, it was super chill. You guys were great to be on the team under, and you still allow me to join the team meetings. They're open to anybody. If you're with EXP or not, you're allowed to join them. So like I take advantage of all those things because I feel like even if I feel like the meeting's like, oh, today we're just talking nothing crazy, but it's nice to hear like what other people are going through to keep you, motivated if you're having a down week or just keep you going. Hearing somebody else's, success that week might help you out. It's like you're at the gym. You're having a hard day at the gym, and then you see somebody on the bench press doing like 225 and you only have like one plate on, you're trying to put more weight. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, essentially the main thing is it has been really chill becoming a solo agent, and it's nice to have you guys to still lean on. It's been really easy.
Yeah, and again, like I knew you'd always be successful with it, so I have zero doubt you're gonna be super successful as a solo agent at some point as a team lead, and it's those traits we talked about. Like you get after it. We don't have to. I've never had to harp on you. Like we've had to work on mindset things where I've had to be like, hey, you gotta be a little bit more positive because I gotta be a little bit more positive. But it was never like, hey, dude, did you do your calls? Hey, did you follow up with this person? So, you have the drive to do it. And to be able to jump as a solo agent, like I know it is very nerve wracking. no matter who it is, because you get used to a routine, you get used to having those things, and then when you're jumping off, like there's a little bit of hesitation,
Yeah.
but again, like it's the same thing you were doing before. It's just working through it. It's
Exactly.
following the same exact game plan. We have the perfect day sheet where it's like you
Exactly.
have the task, you can go hit. You're still in the team meetings and stuff. So as you kind of grow and continue to build it, you'll be able to help agents underneath you. You'll be able to help agents on your team and your downline be able to literally do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And as long as you keep adding value to your clients and to those around you, you'll continue to grow. So,
No. 100%.
for agents that are on a team and are thinking about going solo, do you have any advice? I know you're early in it. I want to redo, do another one of these in like a year or two and
Yeah.
hear how you're closing
Yeah.
50 transactions. But for the agents that are on a team and thinking about going solo, do you have any advice? Do you have any tidbits, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say just do it. Like it was funny. I had a few agents reach out to me. Hey, I heard you went solo. So they would just ask me what I was doing different amongst my business, but really nothing. So I would just say if you're thinking about it, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing leaving your team. Like it's just, if your team leader wants you to grow, then grow. Like you have to grow eventually. So I say just do it and make sure like if you have the systems in place, you have everything in place. Because I made sure to have like even when I was on your team, just like you guys taught us everything KV Core, Bold Trail, Dot Loop, everything that we need. We have all those trainings, those videos that Katie made. It's even when we were doing mailers, she taught me
Yeah.
how to do special printers and stuff. So, like, all these things that I've been able to save for myself, with AI, Claude has been super helpful. But, like, you guys are also AI friendly and tech friendly. So, we have all these things. If you're not looking at the trainings and, like, the basic stuff, like, I feel
Yeah.
like with real estate, like, it's already stressful enough dealing with clients and trying to get new deals. So you better know how to work all the basic stuff, like the contracts and like the basic whatever your brokerage uses for like documents and stuff. So it's been nice to already have all that. So if that's what you're concerned about, like that's understandable. But eventually you have to make a jump and really take a shot on yourself.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. And it's one of those, not every team lead, I'm sure there's plenty of them like that. Like, know who your team lead is,
Yeah,
like there's
definitely.
definitely going to be people that, if you say, hey, I'm leaving, they're going to kick you out of everything. And it's like,
Hmm.
straight to the
And I
curb.
knew you
So,
guys were good people. Like I really
yeah.
wasn't worried about that.
Yeah. So, like, for agents that are considering it, like, know who you're, planning on separating. But if you're a team lead out there and you're listening to this, like, things will come back tenfold if you treat
Yeah.
people right on the way out
Hmm.
compared to if you, like, just kick them to the curb. And
Yeah.
it's one of those where it's like, I think with any business, if somebody's super successful, you don't want to see them. Like, I've heard of, agents, team leads, brokers, whatever it is, like, you kind of try to keep them boxed in. Like, I've heard of them, hey, we
Yeah.
don't want them to close more than 15 deals a year because if
Yeah.
they close more than 15, they're going to start to get this feeling they can do it on their own. It's like, why would you not want them to
To
go do
grow.
it
Yeah.
on their own? Like,
I know.
so those kinds of things, like, you should know, if you do leave, what it's going to look like. But
Yeah.
I think it's huge. Like, I think it's, Gordon's first interview, he talked to us about how he was on a team and when he decided to leave and how he got to that point and,
Yeah.
the emotions that went in it.
Yeah.
So, and now
Yeah.
he's the team lead and killing it business
Killing
wise.
it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
cool. For younger agents, what advice would you give? Like, if you got a younger agent, doesn't have to be new in the business, but somebody that is in their 20s, as I'm nearing the end of my 20s, what would be the recommendations for them?
I would just say consistency. Like that's been like the one thing I have noticed because when I joined your team, once you told me what to do, I'm like, all right, let's do that. And I've been super consistent with it, and I just
Yeah.
took what you said. Your word was bond to me. I was like, all right, that's cool. And I saw things come up, like even with like just when I was on your team, like just these past couple months, like the slower months for us. I think I only started out like the first couple months with just a deal or two, and then it
Yeah.
just exploded because I stayed consistent. I knew eventually it would happen. So it feels like at certain times you're just eating glass. It really does. I mean, right now I feel like I'm eating glass, trying to get deals or trying to get
Yeah.
more add to the pipeline. So I would probably just say being consistent. You're gonna get discouraged at certain times, but like I think like it's super cliche, but just try and get as many no's as possible. Like go to networking events, step out of your comfort zone. I never would have thought like I could see myself going to networking events, but just hosting certain things or doing certain things that I do now. So
Yeah.
just don't be closed minded. I used to think like going on lunches was a waste of time. It's not. Definitely be calculated on who you go with, but just going on lunches, meeting with people, and getting as many connections as possible, and just kind of going from there. But yeah, consistency is the main thing I'd say.
Yeah, comfort zone. Like, I think I talked to Daniel about that a little bit last week. But if you get out of your comfort zone once or twice a week, like if there's something you don't want to do and you get out of your comfort zone once or twice a week, you will be uber successful. Because like everything that I've can track my business to. I mean, leaving a team is uncomfortable. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
Like
is. Yeah.
switching brokerages can be uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Being like getting your real estate license can be uncomfortable. But like I think back to all of these like inflection points in my career and my life and my business.
Hmm.
And every time it was like when I quit from my pharmaceutical company, that was uncomfortable. Like I
Yeah.
remember, mentally doing math and saying like I
Yeah.
got to make like 35K a year
Yeah.
and that's this many deals, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a good time at that time. It was also right before the COVID shutdown, but in that uncomfortableness, it pushed me to who I am. When we
Yeah.
moved back down to Florida, like that was uncomfortable. Like I could have
Yeah.
stayed in Cincinnati and just kept
Went
doing,
crazy.
50, 60 deals a year, no problem. I wasn't really prospecting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and we moved down here. We didn't have a network or sphere of influence. It was a completely different market. And the first year was awful. Like it sucked. Like we were like, we're not going to sell anything down here. And now it's grown. We've put
Yeah.
ourselves in uncomfortable positions. We've talked to
Yeah.
people. So yeah, definitely push yourself out of your comfort zone. I know we worked on that together with like
Yeah.
networking meetings
Yeah.
because, the first like couple you went to, you're like, I'm not going to
And
it.
I
And I was
didn't
like,
even
I
know where
wouldn't
to
want to
go.
either.
Because like I remember like you pointing me the direction, like, hey, just go try these. Because you didn't know about. I mean, I think the best ever one you knew about, which is a great a
Yeah.
meetup that you
Yeah.
used to go to. But yeah, like you, I remember you sent me Kevin
Yeah.
Adamski's event. I go to it all the time now. I made a lot of connections off of it. I've closed deals from it. So like, yeah, like just certain events, just going to them and just like you said, stepping out of your comfort zone, talking to everybody. Like I've talked
Yeah.
to people who like I think would never send me a referral, send me a referral. So
Yeah. Cool. All right. So we have the advice for the newer agent. Is there anything that you've struggled with business wise you can give advice on? Like anything up to this point that you feel like you've really learned? You could still be struggling with it, but
yeah.
anything you want to give in terms of that?
I think being able to pivot. This
Okay.
time last year, remember I was cold calling a lot down in Florida because I just thought cold calling was equivalent to being successful. I think
I
that's
tried
what
to
I
tell you not. I tried to tell him. I tried to tell him. I said, "Don't do it." You're like, "I'm committed." I was like, "All
because
right."
I think I was just so I was so like hungry to have a higher price point. Like we had tried Vulcan 7 up in Cincinnati, but where there wasn't that many expires, and I'm not big on FISBOs. So I called the expires down in Florida, and I was just doing this months on end, like 6 months probably. And it's just
Yeah.
like 4 hour period, block period, just calling and calling and calling. I've got like one listing that's
Yeah.
still probably sitting. And
It
it's
is.
just like, yeah, exactly. So it's just like, so all that time I spent into, I remember you forced me to stop. Like you didn't cut off Vulcan, but you said, hey, I am telling you, you need to take a little break, even
Yeah.
just chill for the week, whatever. Just you're banging your head against the wall. And then I took the time off, and then I think it's when I focused on just setting up lunches, going to networking events and stuff like that. And then business came, business
Yeah.
started to come. So I used to equate cold calling with being successful because that's what all the older agents did. Like, they say, bang those books, call people, you'll get some business. I mean, Josh Altman, he was cold calling when he was in
Yeah.
California. So that's what I thought you had to do. And you can be really good at cold calling, but it's just like it can't be everything. And that was
Yeah.
my everything at the time. Like, yeah, I would do other things here and there, but if I didn't cold call that day, I'm like, oh, it was a bad day. So
Yeah.
I would probably say being able to pivot, because if I didn't pivot and I was still cold calling the same thing like I was this time last year for the past year, it would have been pretty bad. So I think being able to pivot and like really be self-aware of what's going on in the business,
Yeah.
and like you said, being willing to get uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for me to go, not uncomfortable going on lots of people I know. It's just different. I thought I was wasting time. I thought I was wasting money. I was like, this makes no sense. How am I
Yeah.
going to get some business from this? But it wasn't a waste of time, and it ended up working out really well for me. So,
Yeah, most agents equate busyness with business. Like, and
mm-hmm.
I see that all the time.
Yep.
Like, a lot of agents think like if you're gonna do something, do it for 10 hours, bang your head against a wall.
Yeah.
And that could be the case. Like once you find something that works, if it's social media, like I've met people that cold call and they're really good at converting it. I
Some
personally
people,
suck at
yeah,
cold
me
calling. I
too.
know I suck at cold
Yeah.
calling. Yeah. So like, do I do it occasionally?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
100%.
sure.
Because I think it's fun to just like get kicked in the face
Yeah,
sometimes and be like, all right,
yeah.
yeah, like I still don't
A
have
little
it,
wake
but
up call.
yeah, yeah. But busyness does not equal business. And you
Yeah.
have to, like, we talk a lot about this in our team meetings. When you find something that works, like if you run open houses and you're really good at converting open house leads,
Hmm.
don't do anything else. Just do open
Yeah.
houses. Like if
Yeah.
you're really good at social media, I've met some agents where I'm like, dude, your content is perfect. I'm like, don't do anything else. There's no need. Like you don't have to cold call because you watched a TikTok of somebody cold calling. Like you can be your own person. Everybody's got their own strengths, their own
Definitely.
weaknesses.
Definitely.
I think a lot of people fall into that. So
Yeah, and just one more thing. I think like you definitely shouldn't compare yourself to people 100%,
Oh
especially
yeah,
in this
yeah,
business. It doesn't help that we're in a business that is competitive, but I would find myself comparing myself to people in different states and different price points. Like, oh man, like imagine if this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just focus on your race and focus
yeah,
on what you have to do. I think that's something I'm talking to myself right now, truthfully, as well, because that's kind of been something as well in the past because I'm so. Like people always tell me I'm too mature for my age. Sometimes a little annoying. I think it's a compliment. I don't know, but like as far as just, I just have really big goals and dreams. So sometimes I can
yeah,
get really hard on myself. So just, I think just not comparing yourself and being grateful for where you're at because sometimes like, dang, I used to, if I think back to 3 years ago, I would have been happy at where I'm at now in my business. But right now I'm like,
yeah,
oh man, I'm not doing enough. But
yeah, yeah.
3 years ago, me would have been like, oh dude, you're crushing it. So I think just being grateful, going through the steps because you're gonna get to where you want to be uber successful, and then you're gonna look back at these times and like, oh, I should have been more grateful during that. So that's also another thing, just trying to really be present. I think that's something you used to always preach as well too, for sure.
Yeah. This business is like one of the toughest to do because we've talked about it. Like there's
Yeah,
agents everywhere that are like crushing it.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and it's almost impossible to be the top in this business. Like I've talked to people that are doing 500 million in sales and it's like, I'm not going to hit 500 million in sales, not with like the life I want. So you have to find that balance. Like if you're going to make $1 million this year, but you're going to work 200 hours a week, like nonstop, not sleep, not eat, like all you're doing is working. Like if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I
right,
don't want that trade off. Like for me, we want a family life
yeah,
balance. We want a work balance that makes sense. So
yeah,
I think definitely like if you get into the object of comparing,
yeah,
it's not great. I've also found in this business that if you do compare yourself to someone, like I get people all the time, even in our slow months, that reach out. They're like, "Dude, you're crushing it. You're killing it." I'm like, I have nothing going on. Like I'm
literally.
twiddling my thumbs right now.
That's me right now.
Yeah. So, and people are like, "How are you?" Like, you're killing it. I'm like, I'm like on my third nap for the day. So, like, I don't think so. But that's the thing. Like, social media
Hmm.
nowadays makes it impossible to not see
Yeah,
stuff. You only see the success. You only see stuff. Sometimes it's backdated 2 months.
that's
So
true
you're not
too.
seeing a current. So,
Yeah, yeah.
cool. Well, this was awesome, man. Is there anything else you kind of want to talk about? We're going to do another update one.
Okay.
We're super proud of you for being able to go
Well,
from
thank you.
team to solo agent. Like, I always knew that was going to be your pathway, and hopefully
Yeah,
it's everybody on our team's pathway. But I'm excited to see you grow. I'm excited to see, next year at this time, you to be
yeah.
killing it and doing 50 transactions and helping a ton of people. So, anything you want to kind of close out with?
No, just thank you for having me on, and thank you to you and Katie. Like 100%, you, Katie, Cam. I still remember our original meeting, me, you, and
Yeah.
and Cam. Just I knew it. I just felt so right about that decision. I didn't even have to. I know you guys said think about it, but I didn't even have to think about it. So I'm just happy I made the decision because it was
Yeah.
honestly the best thing for my real estate career. I couldn't imagine if I would have went to a different brokerage or somewhere else because I love the experience. I know I probably sound like a super homer right now, but I mean, I'm just happy with where I'm at, and I'm excited
Yeah.
for the future because right now I can't really see. I know you always tell me, "Hey, that big breakthrough is coming through." I don't see it. You see something I don't see,
Yeah.
but I'm super grateful that I was able to be on your guys' team and find your guys' certain group at EXP and be here. So yeah, thank you for having me on here, and thank you for allowing me on your team.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see you succeed, man, and we'll get you back on for an update one. But
Cool.
with that, have a good rest of your week.
Thank you, man. You too.
All right. See you, man.